People, yes, welcome back to the channel. This is a very late one. I had a few things to do, but I figured, you know what? I did promise I was gonna have this video up, so I still got to get it through. There's a bunch of games going on tomorrow. I think the early kickoff is gonna be Man United Southampton. Um, Definitely gonna do the watch along for that as well. Now, with this game, yeah, like with the way United have been so shit and they've been very poor, um I could see them dropping points only because like one, they're going away, two, it's an early kickoff, and just three, because like Southampton, you just don't know how they're gonna play against Man United. Um so it's definitely gonna be an interesting game. Uh Question for United, there's a few questions like, is Ugarte going to be fit to start? Is Xerxes going to be available? Does Rashford start this game? Does Diallo come into the side? Does Garnacho play? There's been a whole bunch of um, just, I think something recently came out where Garnacho was liking comments that Cristiano Ronaldo made about the coach. And this ain't his first time. You know what I mean? So it's just, I don't know if Ten Hag is going to bring him in, but it's going to be an interesting game regardless. I do expect United to win, though. I'm not even going to lie. I expect Man United to win this game. I expect it to be like really comfortable for them. But United have shown us time and time again that they can just mess up something pretty simple and straightforward like that. So we'll be up bright and early to watch that game. It definitely should be excited. But I wanted to touch on something really quickly. Um, Jackson signs his new deal, I believe, till 2033. So that's going to keep him here for damn near 9 years. Now, I know a lot of rivals have kind of still, for them, I guess it's almost kind of like, why are you signing these guys to longer term contracts? And players typically don't kind of, retain that level of form till then. But I think for me, the way I look at this is it could go bad if it really goes bad, but then at the same time, this can be a good thing because with someone like Jackson, say, you waited till say Jackson was on like a 5 year contract or something when he first came in, and maybe like a year into his 5 years, he's hit form, he's performing, and you do have to give him that renewal. I think he might be able to ask for more money. Like right now, I believe just based on how much he's actually earning, them extending it by another two doesn't even put Jackson all the way up there with the highest earners at the club. Look, Chelsea are doing things their way right now with these long contracts. They're banking on the fact that the the long term gain is going to be just as good. Jackson really was bought. I think he was bought for like 35 million pounds or something like that. And for me, based on that first season, I believe that money was well spent. You look in this league right now, bar Erling Holland, you could throw in a Diogo Jota, but other than that, I think you struggle to find a lot of strikers who kind of have his skill set. Jackson is one of those guys that he makes everybody around him, just look good, play well, and he makes the team better. Like when we did in that, funny enough, when Jackson, before he went to the AFCON, he was missing chances, just really kind of causing his points. And we all thought, you know what, maybe him going to AFCON was probably going to help us. But nah, it was actually worse. When we had to deal with Amanda Broha being our striker, we already saw how bad it was. Broha was missing chances. Jackson comes back in and just elevates the team a bit better as well. So for me, I think it's money well spent. I don't see, Jackson being signed onto a long-term contract being something awful. Look, the guy's only 23. I think for him, the only way is up, really. And if he hits half the potential that we all see, listen, we have someone who's going to be here for a while, which means if other teams come snooping around trying to sign someone like a Jackson, you can say, you listen, he has a long term contract. If you really want the guy, you pay up because we're gonna have to replace him anyway. So for me, awesome. I don't know why people kind of hate on it. Look, I think right now you look at most teams. That's what some teams are looking to do. Not every team is gonna already extend someone who's got like 6 years, on their contract. Chelsea are doing it that way. Don't really get the understanding, but I can only think, what they're trying to safeguard these guys' values, for the future. And that's it for me. Cole Palmer won goal of the month for that sick goal against Wolves. And, you know, I'm so happy we signed this guy. And if you look back at like tweets when he was first signing, people kind of just, saying, yo, why are you signing Cole Palmer for like 40 mil? Man City scammed us. Man City have gotten away with another criminal activity by getting money off of us. But this guy has just come in and he's proved to us like, yo, his quality is just absurd. He has proven time and time again, young player of the year. What would you call it? PFA Young Player of the Year. Now he's getting these, Player of the Month. I believe he got it last year as well. Adding Goal of the Month as well. Look, the guy's ceiling is going to just be incredible. You people always have the whole Cole Palmer, Bukayo Saka conversation, and for me, look, I think one, Cole Palmer is more of a number 10 more than a touchline winger. I mean, we've seen, Saka is more of a winger than Cole Palmer is. But yes, you can have Palmer on the other end. But when you ask me to take one out of the other just individually, for me, and this is not even being biased or anything, I think Saka's phenomenal. I just believe Cole Palmer gives you a bit more than Saka would, just in terms of just general all around. If you look at Palmer's, this was his first season, right? His breakthrough season came through with 40 goals and assists. That's more than Saka has ever had, whether it was his first season, second season, third season. Palmer's numbers in his first season have been ridiculous. And then you just look at the guy's all round game. You know what I mean? Just the passing ability, the finishing ability, being able to create chances for others, being able to create space. I think he's just more of an intelligent player. And Cole Palmer for me is one of those guys. You look at people who play that role. You look at your Juan Mata. You know what I mean? Juan Mata was that Cole Palmer type of player. Just their brain just works so much faster. They see the passes that others don't see, and they just make the team just look better. Aesthetically, he looks pleasing to watch, and then you look at the numbers as well. He backs it up. So for me, I'll take Palmer all day over Saka, even though I think Saka's a good player. Neither of them are world class yet, so I believe they have so much room to grow, and these two guys can actually play together in the same team. You can have Palmer in your central areas, and you can have Saka as your winger. So Cole Palmer, well deserved goal of the season, goal of the month, sorry. And let's get to this previews, man. There's a bunch of games this weekend. I'm going to give you my score predictions. Don't bet on it. If you're a betting man, you take this with a grain of salt. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is just going to be off the dome, off the top. I am no bookie, so please don't go make any bets based on my videos and say I ruined your bets for you. Please don't do that. This is at your own risk. You do this on your own, okay? Please. So again, first game tomorrow, United Southampton 7:30. Surely United has to win this game. But as a rival, I'm going to say I hope they drop points. You already know we're competing with the Man United when it comes to like the top four, when it comes to getting into the Champions League places, just when it comes to being able to say, you know what, I had a much better season than you did last year. And again, they got a trophy. They're in the Europa League, win the Conference League, and even though they finished eighth, they had a better season than us because the aim of the competition, the aim and the goal is to win trophies. So they've done that 2 years on the bounce. But tomorrow's game, I'm gonna go with even though I want Southampton to win, I'm just gonna go with a. I'm thinking who's going to get the goals for United. I mean, Xerxes might start. Um, Rashford has not really been on form. I believe Ahmad probably comes in, and he would be. They're likely, so he might be one of the guys who can get them goals. I'm gonna go for a 2-1 United win. Yeah, I think I'll go 2-1 United win. I don't see them scoring that many goals, but against Southampton, I believe United should have enough. Tomorrow you could see a potential lineup of Onana and Go. I believe you see either Delict and Maguire as your center backs, or you see Maguire and Martinez as your center backs. I think you see Dalot left back, Mazarawi right back. Your midfield, you're going to see Kobe Mainu. I think you're going to see Casemiro. I believe you see Bruno Fernandez as well. And in your forward, areas, I think you see Ahmad, Xerxes potentially starts, and I think Rashford starts on the left. I don't see Garnacho starting this game, and with the way he's been liking certain tweets, I don't know if that's going to play a role. But United should have enough to win this game, and I'm going to go narrow to one. Next game, Brighton Ipswich. Honestly, this should be like a very interesting, like kind of open game because Brighton. We've seen how Brighton likes to play. They like to play out from the back. They live, they die on that principle. They don't break away from it. Ipswich Town. I don't. Their coach decent. They play decent football, but I think Brighton at the the Amex Stadium. I think Brighton will have enough for Ipswich. With this game, I see Brighton winning this by 3-1. Goal scorers, I can see Joao Pedro on the score sheet. I can see Danny Welbeck on the score sheet. Um, and potentially Mitoma. So I go 3-1. Crystal Palace, Leicester City, another decent game, honestly. Palace at home. They might have something for Leicester. They might have something for Leicester, but this is one of those games I actually see the away team winning this. I'm gonna go. Chaloba's injured, so he cannot play. Um, Eze should be able to play. Palace had a decent draw against Chelsea before the international break. Trying to see who Leicester's danger man are going to be. Mavididi, Jamie Vardy. Big shout out to Harry Winks. I mean, Harry Winks is whenever I've watched Leicester play, like he's been looking um, effective in their system. Like obviously, Harry Winks is no name. A lot of people are gonna be writing on the transfer sheets when they're trying to get midfielders. But for their system, he kind of keeps it simple. He keeps Leicester ticking. But I think Palace at home, they're always tricky. They got Mateta and Ketia as well. You know what? I'll go for a 1-1 draw. Yeah, I'm going to change it to a 1-1 draw. Potentially Palace win it, but I'm going to go 1-1. Fulham West Ham should be another cracking game as well. You've seen the signings Fulham have made, the signings West Ham have made as well. You're talking your Smith Rowe, you're talking your Muniz, um, Robertson. Is it Robertson or no Robinson? That marauding fullback. I think Fulham, it will be. I think Fulham might have something to say. I believe Adama Traore as well. You look at West Ham, look no further than Kudus. We all know how much of a baller Kudus is. Um, Bowen, Antonio probably starts this game. Maybe Fulcrook should probably get a game, to be fair. But I don't know if he's going to get a game or not. Again, they got Somerville. West Ham have a decent amount of like good players that if when the transfer window opened closed, sorry, and I looked at the signings they made, I went, yo, West Ham should really be pushing for like the top six with that squad because that squad is actually very deep. Paqueta, they that team is deep. But Fulham at home, West Ham. Um, I'm gonna go 3-2 West Ham. I'm gonna go 3-2 West Ham. I think West Ham just have enough to beat Fulham, even though I believe Fulham at home can always cause you problems. But I'm gonna go 3-2 Fulham. Um, Liverpool Forest. Look, I the way Liverpool have started this season off, like a freaking, a freight train with no brakes. Liverpool have been just dominant in most of their games for the most part. The way they just dismantled of Man United, it was so much, it was just so effortless. They beat the brakes off United and they just basically started just taking the time because I feel like they just didn't want to embarrass United that much again. But Liverpool Forest, I think Liverpool, I'm gonna go a nice, easy 3-0 win. They're not conceding goals as well. Defensively, they look solid. Gravenberg has been a revelation in that sixth row. And I was one of those who said, I don't know if he could do it against the big teams playing in that row. I felt like maybe teams will be able to like kind of bypass that midfield, with this lack of like defensive actions. I thought maybe Gravenberg was probably going to struggle in that role, but boy, was I wrong. The guy's killing it in that role. I mean, that yeah, this Liverpool team, if you look at their team right now, because I think someone said it really well, someone put it together. If you look at Liverpool and the way they've started, and you look at the depth they have right now, Arsenal kind of have the same team. They added Califiori, they added Moreno, they let go of Smith Rowe, Vieira, um, what was his name? The other player that sent to Fulham. So I'm just looking at how Liverpool started, and I'm like, yo, 3 wins in 3 games. Yeah, you guys should be competing for the league. I'm sorry. You have the experience. You still have your Van Dyke. You have your Trent Allison. You have Jota, who's been available. Nunes, as much as he's hit or miss, you still have him available. You got Gravenberg, who's been, again, like I said, a revelation. Bro, Liverpool are looking like they should be, challenging for the league. The only thing that might stop them might be, the clock factor that they don't have. But so far, they don't look like they've been, hampered by that. If anything, Liverpool look a lot more impressive. They look controlled and they look scary, bro. Like I know people say Arsenal looks scary, but Liverpool actually looks scary. The way they were just toying with Man United, nah. Liverpool should be in the title race. Their fans should say they should be in the title race. It should be that simple. Tomorrow's game at Anfield. Listen, I'm going with a 3-0. I see them being dominant. I mean, again, Forest, they could also be that team that I don't see them bidding, even laying a glove on Liverpool, but they might be able to get a goal. But I'm just gonna say Liverpool go 3-0. But now that I've said that, when there's certain games you just believe Liverpool should just be defensively solid. This game could be one of those where Forest actually probably take a lead and Liverpool come back, struggle to beat Forest, and just barely win it. So now I'm going to psych myself out and I'm going to go Forest to score first, Liverpool to equalize, and Liverpool to win it late. So I'm going to go 2-1 Liverpool. I'm going to change that prediction from 3-0. I'm going to go 2-1 Liverpool. Man City, Brentford, this should be a straightforward game. No Ivan Tony. I think Wissa should be. I don't know if it's available, but it doesn't even matter. City at home, Erling Holland. Look, I don't know what the guy has been working on. He had no Euros. He had no other international commitments. He's come in this season and he's looked like somebody's pissed him off because the way the guy is just on it, it's actually pretty scary. Holland has started off the season and he's just blowing every team up. He's got 7 goals already in 3 games. And it's like, bro, it's only September. You aren't doing a whole lot. But I don't see Brentford getting anything out of this game. I'm going to go a straight. Brentford were the last team that beat Man City at the Etihad, but they ain't got no Tony. Um, I don't see how they really trouble City, so I'm gonna go with a 3-0 Man City. I don't see where Brentford get the goals. To be honest, I think Man City's defense should be a whole lot stronger to be able to deal with whatever Brentford is throwing at them. So 3-0, 3-0 City against Brentford. Villa, Everton, again, I think this game will be a quick formality. Villa have started the season off really well as well. Even though Watkins has been missing chances galore, Duran has come off the bench, scored two and three. They have a deep squad. The fact that you have Watkins, who's not even on it, and he's not able to kind of, you know, he's not getting you goals right now, but you have someone to come in and you're still getting points. You got Onana scoring goals. Like I've said, Villa's midfield, I like the balance a lot with Rogers in there, McGinn, Onana, Tillemans. I like the balance they have in midfield. They got Ross Barkley to come off the bench. Villa, I think, will be in again with the big shout to be in the top six. But with tomorrow's game, I expect this to be a comfortable, comfy. Like I don't want to go three because I feel like I'm predicting a lot of threes today. But with the Villa's form and Everton's lack off, I just see this being a comfortable. Like, do I go four? I go 4-1, 4-1 Villa. I think they score more goals. Honestly, I think this is the game Watkins gets his shooting boots on wherever he left them. I think there's a game Watkins comes back and he bags either himself a brace, and you see Duran come in and get another go. You see him again lace one from 30, 35 yards. Onana from a set piece. I go 4-1 Villa against Everton. And then the late game, the late kickoff, Bournemouth, Chelsea. Um, this game has the potential to be a banana case. Like it could be a banana stick. Chelsea, whenever we've come back from, I said banana stick, banana skin. Whenever we've come back from international break, we've just kind of looked flat footed. We've not looked as convincing. But I like to think with the quality and the options we have, whoever starts this game, even if they're not on it, you can make certain changes to affect the result. Bournemouth, Kepa can't play against us. They've sold Solanke to Spurs. So really, really, I don't. Again, it's going to be a hard game, but this should be one of those games we should be winning. It doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to be effective. Go in, get your 3 points, and leave. My prediction for this game, I'm going to go with a 3-1 Chelsea win. If I have to predict my goal scorers, I'm going to go Cole Palmer with a go. I'm going to go Noni Madueke with a go. And I'm going to go Nicholas Jackson. So that's my 3-1 Chelsea. Hopefully they don't disappoint me. And the biggest game, the North London Derby. I mean, you've seen. I'm not sure which spaces you tune into, but Arsenal fans have been losing their mind, and rightfully so. I mean, if you're missing one of your most important players, Declan Rice, Martin Odegaard is probably not going to play this game. Marino's injured. Um, it's peak, man. And to think that that's just because of two players, bro. They still have a solid defense. They still have, a good attack. Like I did the Arsenal prediction, or like if I was Arteta, the lineup I would have went with, and I think it was still going to be strong enough to beat Spurs. I think Spurs are missing Basuma. Um, he's injured. I'm not sure who else is not playing for them in that game, but I think Arsenal have the advantage over here. Give me 1 second. Let me just look at that team that team news real quick. But if anything, Arsenal are still the better team currently. I believe they still have the better players, and they should be fine. Like Richarlison is not available, and Basuma. For Arsenal, Calafiore is doubtful. Odegaard, like I said, out. Rice suspended. Tomiyasu, Marino. I mean, Tomiyasu is never going to play this game anyway. But I think Arsenal should still be able to get something out of this game. But I don't think they will. I believe I believe Spurs are going to win this game. Spurs are playing at home. They have most of their starters available. And like for Arsenal's team, right? For me, I went with Raya and goal, Saliba, Gabriel, um, right back, Ben White, left back, I went with Zinchenko. I believe in midfield, I went Partey, Jorginho. I believe Timber might actually play this game, so Timber probably plays left back. So Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, um, Ben White. You got Jorginho, Partey as your two sitters, and for me, this is what I'll do. I play Trossard as my number 10. I play Saka on the right. I play Sterling on the left. Because let's face it, Sterling is a better player than Martinelli. So that's no point playing Martinelli ahead of Sterling. And you need numbers in that midfield. Trossard could be that guy who acts as the link between your midfield and your attack. Gives you some more bodies in midfield as well, so you don't get overrun. Jorginho and Partey, both their legs are gone. So you're not really going to get that much, that quickness in that midfield and that covering that Rice was giving them. But with Trossard, you could just have more numbers and more bodies in that midfield, and you try not to let Spurs play through you. If anything, you try to have them go wide, which they can. Kulisevsky, Madison, Odie Bird, I believe these guys are all available. Son, I don't know if Solanke is going to play because, obviously he missed the last game. But when I looked at the team, the injury list, Solanke's not on there. Do I see him starting this game? Maybe not. If anything, I think they probably go with a front three of Odebert, Song probably through the middle, and either Johnson or Kulisevsky on the right. And the midfield is going to be Madison. Since Basuma is not available, it's going to be Sar and Bentancur. Now, Bentancur, rumors are he might be banned for 6 to 12 games for some silly remarks that he made. That it was probably a joke with him and Son, but he should be available for this game. Maybe not available for the next one. So definitely have him in there. And your defense is going to be um, Romero, Van de Ven, Poro, and you got Udoji. Still solid team. So I expect them to take advantage of the fact that Arsenal's big players are not in this game. Odegaard is going to be a big miss. Rice is going to be a big miss. And for this game, I'm going to go, since Spurs are at home, Arsenal's defense is still strong. That's the thing. So I can't really go like too gung ho, right? But I think Spurs still are able to get something out of this. Can I go with a? I don't even want to be disrespectful to Arsenal, right? Because I think they're still going to cause problems. I'm gonna go with a. I'll go with a 2-2. I know I want to go with a Spurs win, but I'm gonna go with a 2-2. Just because this game, again, I still see Arsenal's defense kind of keeping them afloat. I think Saka, is going to be important. I think Havertz is going to have to step up. Trossard, if he plays, has to step up. I know people want to see Wanieri play, but he's 17. He's young. I don't think he's ready for the North London Derby like that. But look, this might be the coming of the next best thing without you even realizing it. So I'm gonna go 2-2 for this game. I don't really see a clear winner, even though I think Spurs can take it. I'm gonna go 2-2. If Spurs win, yes, we will be there. And uh, it's going to be hilarious because Arsenal fans have still been chatting big. So we'll see. And the last game of the weekend, we got Wolves taking on Newcastle. Yo, Wolves pissed me off, man. Last year when they did the double over us. I mean, we slapped them 6-2 at the Molineux, but they're playing against Newcastle. Um, Newcastle lost. No, they won last weekend, I believe. They beat Spurs. So they're coming in with some good form. Do I see Wolves beating Newcastle? Probably not. I think this is one of those games where, Isak, does his thing. Joe Linton, um, what's the name of the midfielder that just came back from suspension? The Italian midfielder. I think there's one of those games. Newcastle goes to Wolverhampton and they win comfy by 2-0. So those are my predictions. I'm gonna run it through again. Hopefully, even I didn't forget them. I'm gonna Southampton United 2-1 United. Brighton Ipswich. I went 3-1 Brighton. Palace Leicester. I think I went 1-all. Fulham West Ham. I believe I went 2-1 West Ham. Liverpool Forest. I went 2-1 Liverpool. Man City Brentford. I went 3-0 Brentford. 3-0 City. Aston Villa Everton. I went 4-1 Villa. Bournemouth Chelsea. I went 3-1 Chelsea. Um, Spurs Arsenal. I went with a 2-2. And Wolves Newcastle. I went with 2-0 Newcastle. So that's it. Guys, we have the watch along early in the morning. So gotta get some sleep, wake up, get some coffee, and be ready to see United either win or United make my weekend even so much better. All right. So people, this has been fun. If this is your first time coming across the channel, you know, go ahead, sub to the channel, like the video, share the video, hop in the comments, interact with the content. And yeah, we'll be back for the watch along in the morning. So guys, there's been another one.